Ready to nourish your spirit? Fantastic. As we dive deep into God's Word, we'd love for you to join our growing family. Hit that subscribe button, let us know what resonated in the comments, and share this truth with someone who needs it. Your engagement fuels this mission. Eternity Unveiled. In 2005 December, I was on a flight from Dallas to London. I had spent some time with my pastor in Dallas and I was flying. But it's a 9-hour flight. 15-20 minutes into the flight, I wasn't fasting or anything like that. I shot my eyes thinking, oh dear, I haven't bought Christmas presents for my wife and my kids. I shot my eyes, but I wasn't sleeping. An unusual presence of God came into the cabin of the plane. It was sudden and strong. It was so sudden, I instinctively opened up my eyes. I had to cry in my seat slightly, and right in front of me was an angel standing. I've actually written a book on it called Eternity Unveiled. The angel looked down at me and said, "It's time to go." 5 words. I knew instantly what it was saying and I replied instinctively in 5 words. But I'm not ready. I'm healthy. I'm fit. Believe me. I could roll around this block a number of times and I don't have any sicknesses. I wasn't planning to die. So you took it as when he said it's time to go. Oh yes, I knew that's what it meant. It's time to go. So I said I'm not ready. And the angel said, it's not for you to determine when it's time. It's for the one who sent me to determine him. I reached down and grabbed him and pulled me out of the seat. When he pulled me out of the seat, I came out of the seat and looked back. And my physical frame was still on the seat of the plane. I lied not to you. And took me through a tunnel on a journey. Initially, I was thinking, what's going to happen to my wife? What's going to happen to my kids? This isn't the plan. I'm dying. I looked at everybody in the cabin of the plane. It was a BF flight. And then after a while, we went into a tunnel and were drifting away. And my parents, my children, my wife paled out of my consciousness. And all I could hear is assignment. Assignment. You are going to give an account to God about your assignment. I have awards. I have degrees. I have a television ministry around the world. I have a huge church. All of those things didn't count any longer. Clothes, cars, jewelry. It was assignment. I came up against a membrane and I knew it was a point of no return. And I'm really summarizing this. And I came through the membrane. Something happened to me. I wouldn't wish for my worst enemy. I bent down and saw eternity in front of me. And I can't describe it. There aren't the words to do so. I looked back and I looked at time. And time had shrunk into an infinitesimal, minuscule, minute, incomparable comparison to the expanse of eternity. And I'm a pastor. I melt down in agony of soul. In agony of soul. I traveled in my soul because I realized for the first time in my life, or should I say in death, that time is an opportunity to invest in eternity. Wow. And in a flash, I saw the opportunities I had let slip. Opportunities to preach, opportunities to pray, opportunities to get me, and I'm a pastor. And something in my heart in that moment started screaming out, if only I could have 3 more days to serve you. Wow. Give me 3 more days not to be with my wife, not to be with my kids as much as I love them, not to drive a car or fly in a first-class cabin. Just 3 more days to serve God. When all of a sudden I was yanked from behind, back through the membrane, back through the tunnel, into the cabin of the plane. When I got into the cabin of the plane, my body, physical frame was still in exactly the same position it was. And then the angel pushed me. I convulsed, wept like a baby, and it was like I understood what happens when babies are born. When I opened my eyes and sat up, I was crying like a baby. The air smelled good. I couldn't close my eyes for fear that it would happen again. I was confused in my mind. What happened? Did this really happen? Was that a bad dream? All of that was going on when suddenly the angel showed up again and said, if I don't explain to you what's just happened, you would write off. In front of me, in the first-class cabin in BA, there's a seat in front of you. If you have a guest can sit on it, sat there for about 6-7 hours, engaged me in a conversation about the things to come. Your question is a profound question. And so they're talking to me about the next move of God. So they're talking to me about what God is about to do. And then the next thing I heard, it's like time stood still. I didn't realize we were in that conversation so long. The next thing I heard was, put on your seatbelts, it's time to land. The angel then said, as a sign to you that this really happened before the end of the year. Now this was the 23rd of December 2005. Before the end of the year, not many people were making it. When that happens, you will remember that this was a visitation and a message for your generation, and left. Now when I got home, my wife was at the door, She said, "You need to talk to your 9-year-old son." I said, "Is he okay?" She said, "Yes, but last night something happened." Overnight when I was in the air, he had gone to bed and an angel had come to his room. The angel said, "I want to take you on a journey." He took him to heaven, took him to hell, and then said to him, "Where do you want to go?" He said, "I want to go where I see my dad, my mom, and my sister." The angel said, "Serve God with all of your heart," and disappeared. He got up about 3 to 4 a.m., ran to our bedroom and woke my wife up and said, "Mom, I want to be born again." My wife said, "But you're already born again." He said, "Mom, you don't understand. I want to be born again." That happened at the same time I was having the experience on the plane. The Sunday, the 26th of December, Boxing Day 2005, I was preaching in my church. I still couldn't tell anybody what had happened, trying to make sense of it. I said, "What? An angel told me on my flight in yesterday or the day before. Serve God." Not many people were making it. As I was talking, tectonic plates moved along the coast of Southeast Asia, and hundreds of thousands of people died. And for days I wept because I remembered what the angel had told me. There is a shift in the spirit. I sincerely believe there is a call by God, for those of us that know Him, to serve Him. We must rescue a divine move from the dangers of carnal considerations, and to embrace things that don't matter and pay a price in losing out on the things that really do matter. One of the things the angel showed me was he said the things that matter don't matter. He said, "What? You think matters doesn't matter?" He said, "It doesn't matter." He said, "You've got to find out what matters and apprehend that for which you were apprehended. Because in all of it, time is so transient in comparison to eternity." If I was to say anything to anybody anywhere in the world, I would say to them, find what God called you to do and do it. The angel flipped up a bunch of dollar notes. I don't know why it was dollars because I'm British. I would expect it to be pounds when it was dollars. Brand new $100 notes. I've never seen this before in my life. I wish I could say it was original to me. It wasn't. He flipped them before me and said, "What are these?" I said, $100 bills. He said, "If I gave them to you now to spend, would they be valid?" I said, "If they are original notes, yes, they would be valid." Then he pulled out a tattered, old, battened $100 bill and said, "What about this?" I said, "What's this?" I said, "It's a $100 bill." He said, "Which one has more bagging and power? The new bill or the tattered bill?" I said, "They have the same bagging and power." He said, "Son, whether you're in the mountain or in the valley, whether you're sick or healthy, rich or poor, 24 hours at transaction dollars for your assignment. Do what you need to do, whatever the price." I've never seen it like that before. He said, "The greatest debt we can owe is not money, it's time. Because everybody's given a certain amount of time to fulfill their assignment in life. Tell my people to do what they must do. For the kingdom suffers from people who believe. I'll do it tomorrow. What can be done today?" Every opportunity I have, I say to people, listen, it's good to have a good suit. It's good to have an expensive tie. It's good to have a Rolex wristwatch. But believe me, it doesn't count where it really matters. I don't know if it's sung here in Great Britain or not, but it says, "Only one life will soon be past. Only what's done for Christ will last." I had no idea why I said 3 days, but I said, "God, give me 3 days just to serve you and love you and fulfill my assignment." I believe we must live in a constant remembrance. Jesus kept on saying, "I have word written in the volume of the books concerning me to do your will." It's not what impresses people that matters. It's not sitting on the platform in the right places and having your names labeled in the right places. It's how does heaven consider? "Can I take a minute?" The angel said. "The pain of heaven is like a father who gives his son $100 to go buy groceries for the house, food for the hungry, clothes for the naked, giftings for the body, teachers for those that need instruction." They go to the supermarket. Instead of buying what they were given currency for, they buy things for themselves. Those who it was given for suffer because of it. God said, I hold things like that in quite serious perspective in heaven. I think there's a call to consecration, to serve God passionately, to see beyond the mundane and pursue the things that have great value. I'm reminded not also of the first part of that song that says, "Only one life will soon be past. Only what's done for Christ will last." But the last part of that song says, "So give to Jesus all your days, give to Him all your ways, because we have only one life." You have only one life. Give it to Him in service because that's the life that counts. It'll count in eternity where it really matters. Always remember, whether you're in the mountain or in the valley, whether you're sick or healthy, rich or poor, 24 hours at transaction dollars for your assignment. Do what you need to do, whatever the price. Because everybody's given a certain amount of time to fulfill their assignment in life. Thank you so much for watching and for spending this precious time in His presence. If this message uplifted you, please subscribe for more, comment your biggest takeaway, and share the goodness. Until next time, walk in His abundant grace.